Hi there, Bill Hitchcock. Welcome to the program. It's power packed. I had a little surprise this past week. I was reading something, we'll get into this, that there are, of all the commercial fishing licenses issued, a minority share of those actually catch and sell. So a majority share of those licenses, are they being unused? Well, we're going to get into, like I said, into great detail about that. Before I do, I got some housekeeping to do. I want to address, finally, Skeeterman 1970 asked a question about 4 or 5 days ago. I got the answer from the Division of Marine Fisheries. We're going to talk about that. Before we get going, I always seem to neglect to ask people to like and subscribe. And here's something very important that I want to point out to you. Yes, I would like for you to like and subscribe to this channel. But when you do, it tells the YouTube algorithms what type of content you like. So what the YouTube algorithms will do is they'll start suggesting other channels to you. So this one obviously is saltwater related about the coast of North Carolina. Just the only premise is that it's saltwater related about the coast of North Carolina. If you like and subscribe, that's going to tell Mr. YouTube, hey, this guy likes this kind of thing. We got other channels we can suggest. I do that with music. I'm always got music on. If I like it, I'll go on and click it. So I highly encourage you to like and subscribe this channel so you can get more, in any channel like this, so you can get more content like this. All right, let's move forward. And by the way, when you want to get up with me, the best thing is email. I know a lot of people, I'm going to be talking about Skeeterman here with a question that he posted at YouTube, but things get lost for me. People ask a question, I don't see it sometimes. Not always, I don't see it. So please, if you want a direct answer or direct response from me, Bill Hitchcock, email me, billhitchcock@mail.com, billhitchcock@mail.com. billhitchcock@mail.com. I will get it. One time I had it go into a spam folder and it took me a couple of days to find it. But do that. I'm looking for program ideas. I want to hear your questions. I want to hear your comments. I want to make this as interactive as possible. Now, enough of me. Let's move forward into, it said email me and I'm going to go to YouTube right now. Skeeterman 1970, several days ago, asked a question. He said, most of the dead discards in flounder and trout seem to be undersized fish due to various issues and injury due to hooks for recreational fishermen. Are undersized fish counted as the dead discards? And when I first read that, it just sounded real obvious, real simple. And then I started thinking about it. I went, whoa, time out. So I sent that question verbatim to the Public Information Officer with the Division of Marine Fisheries. It took a few days to get a response. Here is the response. First is the edited version of the response. The answer, simply put, is no. Not all undersized fish are considered dead discards. That's the first sentence. Then the very last sentence is, any size fish can be a dead discard. That's the plain English part, but here's the complete answer. Hold on. The answer, simply put, is no, not all undersized fish are considered dead discards. The more complex answer, dead discards, are determined using a discard mortality rate from peer-reviewed literature for the species in question, or a similar species if there isn't information about the species. For southern flounder and speckled trout, we have this information. This mortality rate is applied to the recreational discard number from MRIP, which the Marine Recreational Information Program, to determine the number of those discards that are dead. Fish are discarded by recreational fishermen for a number of reasons. Some reasons are regulatory. Size limits are closed seasons. Some reasons are related to angler behavior, such as high grading. You're throwing back the smaller fish and keeping the bigger fish, or just likes to catch and release fish and not keep. Any size fish can be a dead discard. So there's your short answer. There's your long answer. The long answer gets into that mystery zone. The Marine Recreational Information Program, which is basically the backbone of all, that's NOAA, of all the surveys that are done here in North Kakalaki. Now, let's move forward. I was at a website, the North Carolina Marine and Estuary Foundation, and I read this.
On the commercial side, about 6,000 licenses are sold per year. Of those licenses, Only about 2,000 holders report at least one sales transaction to a licensed fish dealer. What impact, if any, do the other 4,000 license holders who report no annual sales activity have on the various fisheries?
That to me is blew me away. That he said that there's about 6,000 commercial licenses are sold each year. Of those licenses, only about 2,000 holders report at least one sales transaction. So that means 2/3 of the people aren't reporting because they're not selling. Now, does that mean that there are 6,000 commercial fishermen out there commercial fishing? No. And I want to give you an example. In real estate, in North Carolina, real estate brokers, there are 120,653 licensed real estate brokers. I'm one of them. But there's 80,035 active full brokers. So when you get to the active, you reduce it by 34%. There's over 40,000 people that are not active. But the plot thickens even more. That of those active, there are people like me who have not been involved in a transaction for years. The only thing I will do is a referral. So I'm not part of that active. So the number gets even less. I'm sure there's some type of similarity to the on the commercial side because not everybody is out there fishing. So I went to the Division of Marine Fisheries. And I asked them, I said, hey, what's the requirement here? If somebody's got a commercial fishing license, let's say they got a shrimp trawl, can they just go out there and trawl, all within the legal regulatory limits, of course, to their heart's content, and as long as they're not selling, we don't know what's going on. And that's really the key thing for me is stock status. If there's a group of fishermen out there, particularly and more specifically commercial fishermen, which as we know catch in bulk, and we don't know about it, then there is critical information for stock status determination that we're missing. Because the best tool the managers have in regards to stock status is the commercial fisherman through the trip ticket program. Catch a fish, go to the dock, sell the fish. You got to say where I caught it, how much, la, 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 la. So, I mean, that's actual information. So the division, I asked them, I said, what the heck's going on? This is what the Division of Marine Fisheries had to say.
There is no requirement that licensed commercial fishermen sell their catch. As long as they have the proper licenses and permits and abide by regulations, they can fish the way those who sell their catch do. Right now, there is no reporting requirement for fish caught under a commercial license that are not sold. The trip ticket program only tracks fishermen to dealer sales. Once the new mandatory harvest reporting requirements become effective on December 1st, 2025, those who catch fish under a commercial fishing license must report their catch, regardless of whether or not it is sold.
So there is no requirement for the commercial fishermen to sell their catch, and I would really hate to see that happen. That make it mandatory that if you have a commercial fishing license, that make it mandatory that you have to catch XYZ amount or go out on XYZ amount of trips. That's spooky. I don't like that. That's overreaching. I don't have a problem with somebody having a license that's not fishing. I would like for them to report that. Hi, I've got a license, didn't do squat. Or if they are out there, then you have to do squat. Now listen to this. At the very end there was the answer. It says, once the new mandatory harvest reporting requirements become effective on December 1st, 2025, those who catch fish under a commercial fishing license must report their catch regardless of whether it is sold or not. And that's also if a commercial fisherman's out there recreational fishing. It doesn't matter. You got to report it. And as everyone knows that here real soon, by December of this year, they'll start giving warnings. But for speckled trout, gray trout, stripers, drum, and flounder, 5 fish, you catch it, you got to report it. And the Marine Fisheries Commission is trying to hash out everything right now. It was going to be mandatory at the end of this year, 2024, but they're going, whoa, way too much going on. Like, when does fishing stop? Because you're supposed to report after fishing ceases. I think it was, I've just forgotten his name. Tom Roller brought that up. Commissioner Tom Roller brought that up, I believe. Now, if I'm wrong, don't yell and scream at me. I'm an old man. Memory's not 100% no more. But just as a friendly reminder, in regards to both the commercial fishermen and the recreational fishermen, December 1st of this year, they'll give a verbal warning if you don't report. By December of 2026, you'll get a warning ticket, and by December 1st, 2027, an infraction. Now, the infraction sounds kind of wimpy at first, and I'm going to go off of the bill. And I encourage you, this is House Bill 600, Session Law 2023-137. Right now, I am reading off of page 6. It says, for the punish you to $35 if you don't report, but a commercial fisherman can have a buttload of stuff and just pay $35. Now, listen to this. This applies to both recreational and commercial fishermen. So the Fisheries Director of North Carolina Division of Marine Fisheries is authorized to suspend, revoke, or refuse to issue a commercial or recreational license for any individual guilty of an infraction for violations of subsection blah, blah, blah. And guess what? The director of the Wildlife Resources Commission got the same power. So if you mess up, the directors can go, give me your license. You ain't getting one. So that's a little bit more hefty than a $35 fine. That becomes law December 2027. Yep, December 1st, 2027. This year's going to be a warning tickets, but in 2 years, we're going to have to straighten up. I am glad to hear this because it's very frightening to me to think that on the commercial side, that folks have been out there commercial fishing, and since they're not selling it, we don't know about it. So that is a very bad thing in regards to trying to monitor and determine the stock status of whatever it may be. Including, say if it's a shrimp trawler, how much shrimp, or the bycatch, and how much bycatch, what's going on here? A gill netter, how many trouts are you catching, how many flounders are you catching, how many spots are you catching, or what? This is mission critical information because, again, I'll just say this, that the number one resource, I'll call it, for managers in regards to counting the fishies is the commercial fisherman. So good. I'm glad to hear all this, and thank you for the answers that we got. Took a little time. Don't forget to subscribe, as I made mention on top of the program. When you like and subscribe to anything on YouTube, it tells the algorithms you like this type of content, and then they will start suggesting other content for you. And I can tell you off of YouTube right now, probably 80% of the people that come to this YouTube channel have followed a suggestion, whether it was a specific title or the subject matter or what we're all about. So do that. Appreciate it. Email me, billhitchcock@mail.com. And until next time, see ya.
Hitchcock Television. 40 years of television and film success.